What's going on, everybody? It's your favorite dating coach, Elliot Scott. And as you can see by the title below, we're going to talk about show you examples of what it looks like when he has power versus you having power. Now, if you want to know more about this, of course, get my guides down below. I have a complete guide on power dynamics, or work with yours truly one-on-one to understand your situation better. Again, the power dynamics, what you can do to get them back, game plan, all that. Links are down in the description. So, jumping into this, I want to first talk about why this whole power dynamic thing is happening in the first place. Despite what a lot of you believe, even though power dynamics is real, it's inevitable, I don't like preaching it a lot because I think people, the irony in it is, and what I'm about to tell you, is that I think people use and abuse it for the wrong reasons. Both sides do. And the reason I'm saying this, think of it like this. If you are my competitor, right, I want to have an advantage over you. I want to one-up you. I want to have something over you if you're my competitor. If you're my lover, if you're my teammate, if you're someone I truly care for, I wouldn't want that advantage over you. You know, it's all about the weakest link. Like if you're hurting, if I'm your husband, for example, or boyfriend, I should be hurt. If you're someone I truly care about and you're hurting, I should be hurting. So the irony in all this is you can easily tell if someone really cares about you by the level of power. Like if it's balanced, and you both are respectable towards each other, and your concerns and the communication and the clarity you give throughout the relationship, you will be fine. That's the funny thing about this. The whole power dynamic thing always happens when someone's trying to get an advantage over you, or someone's trying to make up a disadvantage. So when women come to me and they always say, how do I tell if a guy really likes me? Okay, great, tell me your story. And then when I'm listening, it's like, oh, well, he doesn't like you. Well, why would you say that? Well, because of this long list of things you're telling me. He's sporadic with his texting. He's coming and going when he pleases. You're giving him a million chances. He knows you want a relationship. He says he wants one also, but you guys have been talking for a bit, yet you're still not in a relationship. He's not giving you straight answers. He knows he has you. You're showing a lot of IOIs versus him showing his indicators of interest. And the effort you guys are putting in, like all that stuff are clear indicators who has the power and who doesn't. Now, with that being said, what does it look like when he has it? What does it look like when he knows he has you? Goes back to what I said. You're going to see actions where a guy is mostly taking you for granted, okay? And the thing I tell women first is, there's a difference between a character flaw and a mistake. If he says he's going to call you one night, it's late and he doesn't call you, but he messages you later in the day, let that go. Ladies, stop your drama. Stop. That's not a big deal. If it's something he continues to do though, or he doesn't call, and let's say he does that bullshit again, whatever, then it's like, is this a mistake, or is this how this mother effer is, and he's unsure on where I stand? You can basically tell if someone has power over you because they take you for granted. They're very sporadic. They're not clear in their intentions, or they're very opposed to his actions and words do not line up. Right? They don't line up. And it's not progressing towards something. You're not benefiting, okay, from this interaction. Now, when I say benefit, I don't mean like how you personally feel about it. Oh, I like him. I like when we're together. We're nice when we're together. Okay, but what's he giving to you versus what he's taking? Yeah, you guys might have great sex and fun when you're together, but when he's away, are you getting a lot of anxiety? Right? And anxiety in the normal sense, not like you are a clingy, insecure person, just, like you're looking at his actions and it's not the actions of someone who's really into you. You'll start to see that kind of stuff. And the reason you see that is because humans are very resourceful. We are very resourceful. There is no reason for us to if I have a glass of milk, right, and it's full, there's obvious no reason for me to or logically no reason for me to keep on pouring it. It's just, spilt milk, it's wasted. That's how humans are. You look at that and you're like, no, I'm good, let me drink it. When you're talking to a guy and he's taking advantage of you and he's not investing in you, it's because he feels like he has you, right? Now, with that being said, women will hear this and they'll be like, okay, well, how do I change that? And unfortunately, it's really hard to change once you kind of created it. This is why I always tell women just to get my effing guides. I talk about framing, context, power dynamics, what to do, and the pacing. I talk about all this type of stuff, what men really want. Again, links are down below, ladies. It's like 6 guides. Easy to read, but it's really hard to fix because the brain is very evidence-based, meaning, okay, let's say if you're trying to change it, you're trying to initially erase the programming, which is everything up to this point that you have shown. The neediness, the clinginess, saying you want the relationship with him, right? With him. There's nothing wrong with saying you want a relationship, but I want a relationship with him. And your actions are showing it. You're giving him multiple chances. And this is all versus him doing the opposite, right? Him being sporadic, him being not investing as much, low effort. Like instead of taking you out, he's asking you to come over, or there's gaps in between you guys seeing each other, like a week or 2 or whatever. That's very hard to erase because you have to look at it from his perspective, right? Like logically, men are very logical, ladies. Logically, there's no reason for him to wake up one day and because you don't text him, he's not going to be like, oh, she must be done with me. Like she's done. Like guys don't think like that. Because, especially if you're hooking up with the guy. A guy knows, say you're talking to a guy for 3 months and you've been hooking up and you say you want a relationship and you're showing all these signs. Why would he wake up, again, the brain's very evidence-based, very logical. Why would he wake up and think, oh man, she hasn't texted me for 2 days, she's over me, right? Why would he think that? There's absolutely no reason. And even if he didn't text you for 2 days, or you didn't text him for 2 days, right? But even though you didn't, he's still thinking logically, well, I didn't text her either. So maybe what he's feeling, or you think he's feeling, he thinks you're feeling. Like, oh, the anxiety of not so he's going to call your bluff. It's more in his favor to call your bluff on it because of the evidence up to this point. So to get back to the premise of this video, well, what does it look like when you have the power? Well, first off, don't lose it in the beginning. Like I always say, have the guy invest, have the guy make the dates. Don't be too available. I'm not saying play games. Just don't try to see a guy. If you're on the 2nd or 3rd week and you're seeing him 3 times a week, like chill, lady. Like give a guy an opportunity to miss you. But you always want to have reciprocal investment. You always want to, like flirty banter is really important. That chemistry is really important, but you never want to go over the top. You never want to do more than he does. And if he's starting to do too much, you have to qualify him, meaning like, whoa, hey, are you always this forward with guys or with women? Or hey, do you always say that on the first date? Like you have to be playful with it and see what you have. Ladies, sometimes you have to check a guy. You have to check a guy because if you don't, then he can run with it. It's like if I was in an interview with you, okay, and I say, tell me about your past, tell me about this, tell me about that, and I just let you ramble and I assume everything you're telling me is the truth. Instead, I should question it. Oh, really? How long have you been there? What did you like and not like about it? If you could change one thing, what would it be? Oh, why do you think you'll be better here than there? Like, I need to qualify you. But again, you got to do it in a playful manner, which I talk about in the guides. But ladies, if a guy has power over you, you can tell, okay? Goes back to what I said about the competitor versus the teammates. When you're a competitor, you're going to see, which you don't want him to see you as, that's what I'm getting at. You don't want him to see you as a competitor. You do not want him to look at you and get an advantage over you, okay? Basically, him gaining something and you losing something. Instead, you want to be on the same end where, I'm not going up or I'm not feeling good unless my girl's feeling good. That's how you can tell. It's when he doesn't take advantage of those things. And vice versa. When you have the power, okay, you're going to see a guy, I think, be consistent. He's going to invest. He's going to ask questions and search and try to get your validation. He's going to invest his resources, time, energy, effort, money, all those type of things. He's going to do it consistently, okay? As soon as the guy knows he has you, and I mean like really has you, hooking up is not what tells you that. You saying I want a relationship is not what tells you that. It's your demeanor. It's how you're coming off. It's almost like this lingering, ladies, I wish I could tell you it, like this desperate. A guy can tell, okay? A guy can tell. But if you hold your ground, you do the things I say in my guides and the things I say in my videos, you don't show too much, you always have him showing more. There's nothing wrong with reciprocity, but you always have him doing more in terms of like the effort and initiating and stuff like that. And you focus on context for the love of God. You focus on context, meaning like all the things you guys are doing, saying over time. Like what's that creating? What's that going to look like a week from now, 2 weeks from now, a month from now? If you focus on that, you're going to be good, baby, okay? So with that being said, ladies, I love you all. Take care and peace.